Australia's Gen Ys are getting a foot in the property ladder early, a recent Domain Consumer Insights study has shown. According to the study, the average age that Gen Y becomes an investment property owner is 25, which is 2 decades earlier than baby boomers. 25-year-old Sydney resident Annabelle Fitzgerald has just purchased her first apartment in Sydney's eastern suburbs. She credits the difference in priorities compared to that of her parents at her age for putting her in a better financial position to invest.
It's completely different. I know when my parents were young, or my age, it was all around getting married, having babies, and then together finding a place that would suit the whole family lifestyle. Whereas now with me, I'm a lot more independent than they were, and I'm in a financial position to be able to find a place, and then later on in life I can get married and have kids and then move into another place after that.
Georgie Hunt works in project management at a Sydney-based property investment firm. She agrees that the difference in lifestyles of Gen Ys compared to their parents means they're purchasing property for different reasons.
We're not having kids or getting married at the same age as our parents did, so it's certainly the reason for investing in property would be very different to our parents, because I know my parents got a deposit for their wedding present and they lived in that, and that was them set.
Along with a shift in lifestyle priorities, historically low interest rates have made property investment an increasingly attractive means of making money.
So the interest rates are in the process of dropping at the moment. It's looking to go down to about a 2% interest rate, which is something that we haven't seen in a long, or I personally haven't seen, and that's encouraging a lot of people to borrow money and purchase a lot of houses, which for my industry is great.
But should Gen Y be cautious of getting in over their heads once interest rates begin to rise again?
It's important to keep the buyer or the customer or the client aware that this is only temporary. This is something that, yes, we have a lot of downtime, but it's also going to go back up, which means that in future that you're going to be paying more on your home loans, you're going to be paying more on your mortgages.
Robert warns that whilst now is a good time for Gen Ys to invest, they should be sure that they're in a position to commit themselves to repayments in the long term.
Yes, sure, now's the best time to be buying or selling your house, but in the long term, are you going to be able to afford your repayments? These are the type of things that I'd share with my customer, like a buyer beware, making sure they're not getting that false sense of hope or that false sense of reality where they think everything's going to be this cheap for the rest of their 30-year loan or the 25-year loan, whatever it may be.
Georgie argues that whilst low interest rates do come into play, Gen Ys wanting to invest in property often have to rely on the help of their parents.
Interest rates, as you touched on, being low at the moment are certainly beneficial, but if you can't afford, you can't afford it. And it's only really going to be parents who I think will be able to give us the final leg up if you really wanted to just make the decision now to take advantage of the low interest rates. My parents are coming up to retirement age, and they've expressed that they'd very much like, if they can afford to give my brother and I a bit of money towards a deposit.
She says that regardless of fluctuating interest rates, it's best for Gen Y to try and get on the property ladder as early as possible.
There's never a bad time to buy. Like, the market will always have turns and downfalls and peaks, but the sooner you can get onto the property ladder, the better.